All right, we're looking at Microsoft Excel pet store earnings. Okay, and the first step is to start a blank document or a blank workbook, which I have. Then it says to go to File, Save As, and rename this file. You're going to name this last name underscore first name underscore Excel, except this is going to be your last name and your first name. Okay. Then it says to click in cell A1. So here's A1. Type my pet store earnings. Okay. Then it says to select cells A1 to E1, and then click the select the merge and center in the alignment group. So I'm in the home tab. Here's the alignment group. There's merge and center. Step 3. Set the cell style to title. So in the style, cell style, and then title. Type of pet in A2. Press tab, and then type number sold, tab, price, tab, total per type, tab, and then percentage. It says set the cell style to heading 1. So for all of these cells, I'm going to come up to the cell styles and say heading 1. And now I need to adjust these. So I'm going to select A through E and auto fit. So I clicked in between the gray, on the gray line in between the two letters. Now I'm going to enter in some data. Okay, so in cell 3, C3, I'm going to click on the $sign. And then the rest of those cells in that column, I'm going to click on the comma style. In D3, I'm going to enter in a formula that tells me how much the pet store earned. So we start with the equal sign, and then we're going to multiply these two numbers. So remember, we have to put that times. And then I'm going to press enter. It's going to give me an automatic calculation, and then I'm going to click on that D3, use that fill handle and drag it all the way down to D9 and let go. Now when we did that, it made all of these $signs. We don't want that. We just want them to be comma style. And then in D10, I want to do a total. So I'm going to click, or sorry, B10 first. Let's do, and this auto sum with a weird E is our total. Press enter, and then I'm going to drag that all the way across. There we go. Now notice that this isn't formatted correctly, so that needs to be dollar style. So it is this one. And we need this to be in the cell style of total. Now we're going to insert a chart. So on an A3 through A9, I'm going to select those. Now on a PC, you're going to hold down the control button. If you're using a Mac, you're going to hold down the command button. And then select D3 through D9. And then you're going to come to the Insert tab at the top, click Recommended Charts, and this should pop up. If it doesn't, just click in a blank cell and try those steps again. And come back when you have this, and then click the button OK. It's going to plop a chart right in the center. What you're going to do is you're going to change that chart title. We're going to change that to earnings chart, and then we're going to move it to a new sheet. So anywhere in this white space, I'm going to right click and say move chart, and we want to move it to a new sheet and call that earnings chart. So it moves it to a new chart. Then down here at the bottom, see how it says earnings chart, and it says sheet 1. So we want to change sheet 1 to simply earnings. And that is full credit for the homework. If you want extra credit, there are some more steps you can add. So in this chart tab, you can come to the Chart Design tab up here, and then you can pick one of these new chart styles. You can change the colors. You can increase the size of these fonts so it's a little bit easier to read. You can also do some word art styles. You can increase the font of these, of the types of animals, and the money signs, so those are easier to read. And then in the, let's see, page layout tab, you can change the theme if you like. That gives you different colors as well. And the earnings sheet in cell E3. Oops, so when I changed the design, it kind of changed all these. But in E3, the last thing you can do for extra credit is fill in this percentage. So the percentage is going to be total per type divided by the total. So D3 in this case divided by D10. So that gives me a decimal, which is supposed to. I need to come back to the Home tab, click on the percentage, and to add an increase or decrease the decimal, right, we have these two options. And I'm going to drag that down. Notice how it says divide by 0. Yes, we missed a step, and that was intentional to show you it's okay. If you get that error, there's a reason. You're going to come back to this formula, and we need to make an absolute reference. So that tells the calculator this part changes, so it's going to be in the next cell for each item. But this part with the dollar signs is always going to be the same. It's absolute. It absolutely does not change. Our answer still looks the same, but I'm going to drag it down. And if you want to drag it all the way down, you'll see this bottom number should be 100. If it's not 100, check your formula again. And I'm going to get rid of that, press enter. There we go. That is your project.